Hi, and welcome to Berry Aftercare. I am your host, Dr. Connie Stapleton. I have a story for you. Many moons ago, like as in 30 some years ago, 1989 to be exact, I was in an outpatient treatment program learning how to live life without numbing myself with alcohol, food, starving myself from food, or pain medication, or any other self harming behavior. And one of the counselors came up to me and said, Connie, from now on, you will no longer wear makeup to the classes. Wow, how about that? I wondered, why not? Why not? I come here straight from work, whatever. She said, no, no. From now on, you will go home before you come every night. We came 4 nights a week to the outpatient treatment center, and you will change clothes into something very casual, and you will take all makeup off your face, including mascara. Including mascara. I look dead without mascara, I thought to myself. And the reason was because I was no longer to hide behind anything, including makeup. I was to be raw and vulnerable. Okie dokie. The idea of having no makeup on really didn't bother me as much as I thought it would, which was really a nice, pleasant surprise to me. But here's the deal. There was a lot of accountability involved in this. And the accountability, which by the way is the topic for tonight's discussion, came in the form of her coming and scrutinizing my face, looking all over and especially at my eyelashes, which I do have mascara on right now, as you may see if you're watching this. The accountability came in the form of having her look me in the face to make sure I was following what I said I would do. So accountability, one of the four ACEs, the four words that start with A that are very, very vital to your long-term success in maintaining weight loss, is what we're going to be talking about tonight. We've talked about awareness. We've talked about acceptance. We've talked about attitude. And tonight we're going to talk about accountability in your weight loss journey and in maintaining your weight loss. And the highlights for tonight, here are the three main ideas that we're going to hit on in today's talk. Accepting responsibility for your own actions. That's the definition of accountability. So I'm accepting responsibility for what I do. Synonyms, words that mean the same thing as accountability are I'm answerable, I'm liable, I'm obliged, I'm obligated. Sounds very adult-like, doesn't it? Oh yes, we talked about the importance of adulting in maintaining weight loss. So no mascara meant I said I would do this, and then I had to accept responsibility for doing what I said I was going to do. There are reasons, very good reasons, which we're going to talk about, for using accountability measures in your weight loss journey and especially in your weight maintenance journey. Because in my world, the weight loss is great, right? People have done that many times, but maintaining that weight loss has been more difficult for a lot of people. So we want to make sure that we're focusing on how do I remain accountable for the behaviors that helped me get the weight off, and how do I maintain those behaviors. The last thing that we're going to talk about are some examples of accountability measures that you can use in your weight loss and weight management journeys. And then I've got an invitation for you. I think it's kind of a fun one, so stick around to the end. All right, so accepting responsibility, accountability for your own actions. And this part of the four ACEs, it goes along with awareness. I'm aware that I'm doing something. I have choices. Do I want to continue doing it or do I want to change it? Is it going to lead me in a direction that will lead me to my long-term goals of maintaining my weight loss and living a fuller, happier, better quality of life? So I'm aware of something, I have a choice about changing it. What's my attitude? What's my attitude going to be about it? Am I going to hum and piss and moan, or am I going to say, okay, I get it. This is something that I'm going to have to do. I accept that these are realities, and now I'm accountable. I said I'm going to do these things, right? In your pre-surgical journey or in your medical weight loss process, did you tell somebody, yes, I'm going to exercise this many times a week, or yes, I'm going to cut down on my sugar by this much, or yes, I'm going to eat this many grams of protein and drink that many grams of water? If you said you're going to do something, then you are accountable for following through with it. So accepting that you're the one responsible for your own actions. In other words, what this translates into, my friends, is nobody can do this for you. That's where the adulting piece comes in. Nobody can do the work for you, right? But the other thing is you can't do it alone. So being accountable often involves more than just yourself. So the full statement, as is prominent in the recovery world, is nobody can do this for you, but you can't do it alone. So you've got to do the work, but it helps to have a great, solid support community, people to whom you can be accountable. So accountability often involves someone or maybe something in addition to yourself, as intimated by the synonyms for the word accountability, right? You're answerable. You're going to answer to someone, maybe an accountability, maybe a personal trainer, maybe your dietitian, maybe a bariatric coach. You're accountable to another person, or maybe you're being accountable to your community. Perhaps you're on a community-based logging app, right, where everybody logs their things, or you've chosen a select group of friends that you're on there with, and you've made an agreement with these people, or perhaps with your partner, maybe with your kids or your therapist, that you're going to log your food every day, or you're going to log your exercise, or you're going to follow through on some other behavior. So now you've got other people involved and people who are counting on you. So accountability includes you, the one who has to do the behavior, but other people, the people to whom you are accountable. You've said, I'm going to show up. I'm going to adult. I'm going to follow through. And these accountability people are there to encourage you, support you, and help you follow through. So those are important aspects of what accountability means. Now, the reasons for using accountability measures in your weight loss process, and especially in the weight maintenance process, is because it helps create and keeps you consistent. Think about your journey with weight over time. A lot of people have been able to lose weight, but maintaining that consistency, in others, what you do to lose weight, you've got to continue to do to maintain the weight loss. So when you try a fad diet, if you're going to eat cabbage soup for 6 weeks and you lose a lot of weight, the minute you eat anything besides cabbage soup, what do you expect is going to happen? Well, of course, you're going to gain weight. So accountability in a healthy weight loss and weight maintenance program is living a healthy lifestyle. It's not a fad diet. It's not something that the minute you take it away, your weight is going to rebound. It's a lifestyle. If you've had weight loss surgery, you know what the lifestyle is. If you're on a medically supervised weight loss process, you know what the weight or what the process is. Now, if you're on a medically supervised weight loss program, or if you're taking weight loss medications, you have to understand that when you wean off of these medications, or you start adding food to your all liquid diet, or you start adding back a meal instead of a meal replacement, you've got to have a healthy lifestyle built in and work on that, or you're just going to gain the weight back. Weight maintenance requires, hello, remember we talked about acceptance, requires the things we talked about in the last episode. It requires exercising. It requires choosing healthy foods. It requires, eating every so often. It requires this amount of protein. It requires that you cut back on added sugars and you minimize processed foods. It's just the way it is. So if you don't intend to follow through with a healthy lifestyle, there's no point in dieting or in having weight loss surgery for that matter. So, having accountability helps create the consistency that you're going to need to maintain a healthy lifestyle and keep that weight off, right? Consistency helps you create habits. And habits are really the definition of consistency, or consistency, the definition of habits, right? They're things you do without having to think about doing them, right? So you go to a buffet, and because you choose protein first and then vegetables, that's what you fill your plate up with because it's a habit. You have consistency, right? And people who are accountability helpers, or you use accountability apps, whatever you use, are there to help you while you're developing these habits. And once it's a habit, it's like, it's just what I do. Like I shared about my exercise, it's what I do. I don't have debates in my head about what time it is, or, if I've got a busy day tomorrow or whatever. Exercise, I don't debate with myself. It's what I do. And it's because I've been doing it for 30 years of my life or more, right? It's just what I do. And these healthy habits, the one that only you can do, but your accountability people can help you with, is how you develop that kind of mindset, that attitude. It's like eating healthy, it's what I do. Drinking water, it's what I do. Saying no to excess amounts of sugar or processed food, no big deal. It's what I do. And you can get there. You can with consistency. We can't do this alone. So having others as people who will help us maintain our accountability is great. But you are also having other people depend on you, right? So a great way to establish accountability is to hire people. Now, you can hire a personal trainer, and that personal trainer is counting on you to show up. And a lot of people that we hire will charge us if we don't show up. So it behooves us to show up, right? I missed a haircut appointment the other day because I put it in the wrong day in my calendar. Too bad, so sad. They charged me full price for that haircut because I made the mistake of putting it in my calendar. It's not their fault, right? So if you're paying a trainer and you know that if you don't go, you're going to pay anyway, well, it's pretty wise to go to that training and get the benefit out of that. If you have an appointment with your dietitian, your therapist, your coach, whoever it is, and you don't show up and you know you're going to get charged, well, you might as well go, right? All right. So having people depend on you improves the odds significantly of you following through with what you say you're going to do. Now, you can have accountability people that you don't pay, right? I have a woman that I know, and she had weight loss surgery. And for years, she and a group of women would get together at the ungodly hour, to me, the ungodly hour of 4 a.m., and they would walk together. So if you're in a group of women who are going to get up at 4 a.m. and walk together, you know other people are counting on you, because it's not safe to go for a walk by yourself at 4 a.m. Probably not for a woman or a man. So having these other people depending on you showing up, so you have a group of people so you can talk and laugh and get your exercise in and feel safe all at once. Having other people counting on you is a great way to increase your accountability. You're going to show up, right? Accountability, here's another great thing about accountability. People lots of times say, well, how do I keep my motivation? How do I maintain my motivation? I lose motivation, and I wish it would just descend from the heavens and into my brain, and woo, I'm motivated. But you and I both know it doesn't work that way. So accountability doesn't rely on motivation, which is a great, great thing, because sometimes we're just fresh out of motivation. Motivation is fleeting. But accountability, having other people there to rely on your showing up, is another thing. If you have a good sense of being a decent person and you don't want to let other people down, then you don't need motivation. You've got the fact that other people are counting on you, and that's pretty good incentive or motivation in and of itself. Accountability also reminds you that you're an adult and you've made an adult decision to develop a healthy lifestyle. And that healthy lifestyle and doing the doing of the things that it takes, the follow through, reaffirms your value and your worth. And that increases your likelihood of following through as well. So accountability reminds you, you know what? I'm an adult and I'm going to follow through and say and do what I say I was going to do for myself as much as for the other people who are counting on me. Now, let me give you some examples of some accountability measures. As you're losing weight, and equally, if not more importantly, as you try to maintain that weight loss. I don't like the word try, as you maintain that weight loss. So, a food diary or an exercise diary, great accountability measure, right? There are apps. You can order online on Amazon or on my website this amazing little tool called the Berry Aftercare Daily Progress Journal. Oh, I wrote that. But you can order that, and it's a great tool because it gives you a little check mark. If you're a person who likes to see that you've done things, this has got all the things in there for you to develop the healthy habits that lead to this healthy lifestyle. So get on there and order the Berry Aftercare Daily Progress Journal. It can help you, but there are many, many, many other tools. There are all kinds of apps, MyFitnessPal. I can't think of what they are right off the top of my head, but you can find them, right? A food diary and an exercise diary. This has been proven by research to be one of the absolute most helpful ways to sustain weight loss. If you log your food, and if you're honest with yourself about it, if you log your exercise, it gives you a way to look back and go, what's going on? I've gained a few pounds. Oh my goodness, look at this. I've increased my uh, processed food intake every day for the last week, or I skipped 3 workouts. That isn't like me. So you can look and see where the problem is, and then you can work towards solving what you found. All right, another example of an accountability measure is a buddy system. It can be a person, an accountability person, or it could be a small group, like my friend's 4 a.m. walking group. What a great example of establishing your own group. Well, there aren't any groups in my area. BS, make one, right? Don't let yourself get away with excuses. If you want an accountability group and there just don't seem to be any in your area, well, then do the adult thing and make one. There are paid support services, which are great forms of accountability, right? There's the personal trainer, there's bariatric coaches, and if you're part of bariatric care, then you know about Tabitha Johnson, known as the Berry Boss or the Real Berry Boss on Instagram. She's amazing. There are bariatric dietitians that you can seek out and make additional appointments with. There are therapists. So there are a lot of people that you can engage if you want to be accountable to a paid person. And for a lot of people, that helps them get to the gym. For other people, they pay for a gym membership for years and never use it. But I say you don't need a gym to exercise. YouTube is free, and so is the outdoors. I had a client once, a guy, and he was very business oriented, and he had the best accountability thing for himself. You got to do what works for you. But because he was so business oriented and graphically inclined, he kept a graph beginning at when he first started his weight loss journey through the surgery, and he's like 8 years out, and he maintains that graph every single week. And he has kept his weight within a 10-pound range for 8 solid years because he will look at that graph and he can see where he's headed. So for you, if you're a person who likes to see results in black and white, make yourself a graph, because that was very, very powerful way of accountability for him. A reward system. Set yourself a reward system. Every day this week, if I do my gotta do-ems more days of the week than not, what's the gotta do-em? Go on my website, Connie Stapleton, PhD, download a sheet of the gotta do-ems. these are the behaviors you've got to do if you want to keep your weight off, right? And use that as a checklist. And then at the end of the week, if you've done more days of the week than not, say with exercise or water or 3 of the gotta do's, however you manage it for yourself, then maybe buy a new shirt, go to a movie, get a massage, something that you enjoy and you're rewarding yourself for your effort and your input. It's like gold stars for kids, right? Not food. All right. Daily checklist. Have short-term and long-term ways to reward yourself. Have a daily checklist. The Gotta Do's is already there for you, or the daily progress journal that I created to help you. Daily checklists are great. And you also want the long-term vision board, right? You want to see yourself doing what you need to do today. And every day, when you see yourself being accountable, you don't have to worry about what that scale is going to say because you know you're headed in the right direction. All right, now the scale can be a good accountability thing for some people, but you have to know how the scale affects you. And if it's a negative thing, then don't play by the scale. If the scale is okay for you once a week to look at, just an accountability measure, am I going up? Am I going down? Am I staying the same? And you don't get all worked up about it, it doesn't define who you are, and you don't fall into major depression, for gosh sake, like I did on the scale, then use it. Otherwise, don't use it. You have options and you've got to do what works for you in this journey, right? A great accountability thing, especially when you get into that, people are telling me I'm losing a lot of weight, but I don't see it. Have pictures. Take weekly pictures or monthly pictures. It's a great way for you to maintain because you like what you see. And if you keep these posted somewhere, you go, wow, I'm going to keep that up because I like this, right? And it can be a form of keeping you on track with the healthy behaviors so you can continue to see the progress. And then again, the short and long-term goals. Maybe the long-term goal is my walking group is going to do a 5K in 3 months. So we're going to meet 4 days a week and we're going to walk. So we're going to have weekly walking challenges or daily walking challenges in preparation for that 5K. Maybe it's a family thing. I love it when patients tell me that they are involving their family, their significant others, their partners in this journey, because I'm going to tell you, your loved ones often feel left out as you make these big positive changes in your life. And they're the ones that have been with you through the thick and thin, right? That was pun not intended, but the hard times and the easier times, these are the people that have been with you. So don't abandon them. They want to be part of your ongoing journey. So one of the things I encourage you to do, and this is going to be part of your invitation at the end of today's video, is be creative. You can create an accountability kind of thing within your family. Maybe you want your kids to pick up their clothes every day or pick up their room every day before they go to bed. And maybe you want to exercise 15 minutes every day. So maybe at the same time of day, your kids go pick up their room, you go do your exercise, and you meet at the end and you celebrate together. And you can, different kids can have a different goal depending on how old they are and what they've got going on and the spouse and the partner and the whatever. But include everybody and you all go do your thing at the same time and meet up afterwards and celebrate. And I'm not saying with food, you celebrate with verbal compliments, verbal awareness, verbal acknowledgement. So some take-home messages, right? Developing the healthy lifestyle requires adulting. Being accountable requires adult behavior, right? You are an adult. Remind yourself, you're a dang adult, right? As they say on a lot of the things I listen to, you're a grown A woman or a grown A man who is capable. You are darn capable of accountability, and you demonstrate that in a lot of areas of your life. You do it with your kids, you do it at work, you do it in your volunteer activities. You are very accountable in very many ways. This is what is referred to as a transferable skill, my friends. So transfer your accountability skills into other areas of your life. All right, accountability measures. Research shows over and over and over that these will increase the odds of completing the thing, whatever it is, whether you're trying to write a dissertation or whether you're trying to complete a set of steps to get a job promotion or whatever it is. Accountability helps you get there. And there are a lot of options for you to choose from when it comes to being accountable for developing and maintaining this healthy lifestyle. So do what works for you. I've given you some examples, but get busy on your own. Dig into what's out there. Listen to the podcasts. Get online. Look up accountability measures. So the invitation for you, if you've got people in your life who you're close to, maybe it's kids, maybe it's a partner, maybe it's siblings, invite them to do an accountability, whatever, group, activity with you. And if it's different activities, try to do it at the same time. So everybody's involved in developing these healthy habits for their life in whatever areas they need them. So ask them to join you. Again, I really encourage you to involve the people that have been most active and close to you in your life, right? So let everybody pick something they want to improve in and then check in with each other or do them at the same time. Remember, this is your health. This is your responsibility, and it's every day. It's this day and it's every day. And so while I no longer am committed or accountable for not wearing mascara, that exercise helped me develop an attitude and a just a way of life of being vulnerable enough to let people see me. I swear to God, the only makeup I have on right now is mascara and a little clear light pink lip gloss. I don't need it. Not because I wouldn't look better with it, but I don't need it to hide behind, right? I am who I am, and I'm okay for people to see who I am. Maybe someday I'll show up without mascara, but maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, figure out what things you can do to improve your accountability, because accountability will help you get to where you want to be in terms of maintaining your weight loss and living a healthy lifestyle. Because it's way more than your weight. It's about living a healthy lifestyle, which includes how you think, how you feel, how you engage with other people, your communication skills, your ability to set boundaries, your self-worth. So we're working on that every day. This day, every day, as I always say. Thank you for joining me. Please encourage others to join and join Berry Aftercare, the full program, because we now have 3 live support groups every month. I do one. If you know Rob DeMedio, he does one for men only. Kalisha Haynes does another one at a different time in the week. You can find out all this information on the Berry Aftercare Facebook page and Berry Aftercare website. We have Tabitha Johnson, who is on with me every single month talking about friends and family and relationship changes, and Laura Preston, who talks about movement and exercise, and Chef Healthy Henry, who does cooking demonstration, as well as motivate me, texts and messages. There's so much to gain while you lose. All right, my friends, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Make it a great one. Pass it on.